Hey there, Retro Games fans, this is Andy C from Pieces of 8-Bit. Welcome to this week's episode of The Bit Between. And this week we will be heading into the skies of one of Saturn's most iconic and atmospheric games, and that game is Panzer Dragoon. Now, why have I picked this game? Well, people talk about this game being one of the best games on the Saturn. It's been remade more recently, and we'll get onto that in a moment. There's been sequels, all of those sorts of things. But don't hate me, but this isn't a game I've really played before. So to do this video, I had to go and do a bit of research. I had to go and have a look at other people playing it. I had to have a look at some of the sequels. I had to do a bit of research into the game, the development, all of those kind of things that I like to bring you on The Bit Between. So I've seen the game. I've seen people playing the game. To be honest with you, before that, I'd not really looked into it at all. I've had a very quick play just to make sure that I understand the controls, just so that you get some semblance of a decent demo when I get into the gameplay in a bit. But, you know, so far, what I've seen is pretty impressive, I have to say, especially for a console of its age. But we'll get into all of that. Needless to say, I would set your bar fairly low in terms of how long I'm going to be playing before I die, because my gameplay experience is somewhat limited. Nevertheless, we're going to have a go anyway. So just a little bit about the game itself then. So it was released in 1995. Panzer Dragoon was essentially Sega's answer to the on-rails shooters of the era. And, you know, think Afterburner, those kind of things, obviously also Sega. But instead of fighter jets or spaceships, you rode into battle on the back of a biomechanical dragon. You're soaring across a ruined post-apocalyptic world filled with ancient technology and huge monsters, as you will see. Panzer Dragoon was created by Sega's legendary internal studio, Team Andromeda, and they were a small but wildly ambitious group, and they pushed the Saturn's tricky hardware, it was well known for that, to its absolute limits. And despite the console being notoriously hard to develop for, the team really leaned into that cinematic camera movement, the lock-on shooting, the sweeping environments. You can see that if you go and watch anybody play it, you can absolutely see all of that. And it creates something that felt more like an interactive anime than a traditional arcade shooter, really. And speaking of anime, I did a little bit of a look to see if there was kind of any inspiration for this game. I had an idea in my head, which I'll tell you in a second. It wasn't what I expected. The game's visual design and tone apparently were heavily inspired by a game called, and I'm going to get this wrong, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which is not something I'd ever heard of before. It's a 1984 Japanese animated science fantasy film, and it's widely regarded as the foundational work that led to the creation of Studio Ghibli and remains one of the most influential animes of all time. Now, I'm not into anime, so I'd never heard of it, but that apparently has given a lot of inspiration to this game. Now, I felt when I saw the footage that this was something that was perhaps more inspired by something like Dune. But maybe that's the desert thing. There's sort of sandwormy type things and all sorts of things that we may or may not get to encounter later on. That felt quite Dune, you know, that post-apocalyptic thing, kind of future universe thing. I don't know. It felt like that to me. But yes, nevertheless, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind apparently influenced Panzer Dragoon's haunting setting. You know, it's a world that's set long after a technological collapse. There's ancient bioweapons left behind by a lost civilization, and humanity barely surviving among the ruins. You play as a lone hunter, and you bond with this mysterious dragon, which conveniently isn't on the screen yet, but it will be in a minute. I thought it was for a second. After witnessing a powerful empire attempting to resurrect these ancient weapons, these dragons. And from there, it's basically a tragic, epic journey across deserts, oceans, and crumbling megastructures, and we'll see some of that when we get into the gameplay. Oh, here we go. Just on cue, almost on cue anyway. Here's the dragon that we're going to befriend momentarily. Or is it? Maybe not. Maybe not quite yet. In a moment. Critics absolutely loved it. It was praised for its atmosphere and music, its cinematic presentation, the lock-on system, its just sheer sense of scale. Even though it's on rails, it just felt like it was very open and very free. And it quickly became one of Saturn's most must-own titles, and it was a showcase for what the hardware could really do when it was properly used and mastered. The success of the original then spawned 3 sequels. So we had Panzer Dragoon II Zwei, which is faster, smoother, a bit more action-focused. Saga, which is a legendary full RPG and one of the rarest Saturn games today, and I can testify for that because I had a quick look on CEX. So this game cost about £28, not too bad. Panzer Dragoon Saga, yeah, you can pick that up from anywhere between £500 and £700 for a really good copy with all the manuals. £500 for a version without even the manuals in it. So, not an insignificant outlay, but one if you're into collection. I think this is our dragon here that's just arrived. Oh yes, and then I didn't mention Panzer Dragoon Orta, which is a modern revival on the original Xbox. And then there was even a strange, often forgotten Panzer Dragoon Mini on the Game Gear, which tried to sort of shrink those epic dragon battles onto the Sega's handheld with, I'm going to say, mixed results, and that would be kind. It was pretty much planned. I've never seen it. I'm just aware of it, and I'm just aware of the views. I didn't find any footage for it online. I didn't really look for it all that hard. Maybe I'll have to see if I can pick a copy up, just have a look on the Game Gear one day. Who knows? And then in 2020, we had a remake, and the remake was fully rebuilt, Panzer Dragoon Remake, and it was available on a lot of modern consoles. It's about £22 as I speak this on the Nintendo Switch. Had a little bit of the footage, look at the footage of that. It looks really, really good. So what I'll do is when I wrap up at the end, I'll put a little bit of footage on that to talk over whilst I do my sort of final thoughts. And so today, essentially, this is remembered as one of Sega's most artistic franchises. It's a technical marvel for the Saturn, and it is a perfect example of 90s experimental design. And I just about managed to get my intro to fit neatly into into my little monologue at the start there. So I think we're just about to get into the gameplay. So we'll watch the end of this cutscene, or most of it anyway, and then I'll dive into the gameplay of Panzer Dragoon. So I will see you in there. Right, let's get into this then. I'm just going to do a normal game. We're going to get another cutscene, so I'm just going to skip through that. It's the same one we've already seen. And then straight into the game. So you're going to hear me mashing the fire button a lot, because that's generally what I've got to do. I can use the trigger buttons to sort of change my view, so I can kind of shoot things behind me if I want to by hitting the trigger buttons. I'll look behind. I'll do that in a minute when I get a moment to. I'm basically just shooting everything. I assume that's what I need to do anyway. I think if I don't, they shoot me anyway. So, oh, I literally flew into that. That was careless. Yes, so you see I can sort of spin around here. I've got this radar at the top where... Oh dear, I shouldn't have done that because that's what I was doing. So I've got this sort of radar on the top there, which is quite useful. So if things are behind you, then you can obviously see that. I really shouldn't have done that earlier because I'm not doing very well here at all. Generally speaking, it will steer you. Try not to crash into too many objects, because that obviously isn't good either. So here, it's going to kind of steer me, so I've got to go down here, which is absolutely fine. Right, are those things bad? Oh, like sort of mines. Oh dear, this is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I think there maybe is a lesson here that maybe I should just record these things and then do do a voiceover. Where's the fun in that? I do that sometimes, but yeah, where is the fun in that? Okay. Just with all these sort of ancient ruins that kind of collapse into the sea. All of that stuff was pretty cool for the time. There we go. And here. There's dragons here. He's going to shoot at me, and I'm just going to deal with that, I think. Just try not to kind of look off centre too much. I think on this first stage, I'm guessing that... Oh, okay, he did shoot me from behind. Alright, and again. This isn't going great. This is not going great. And I didn't even get him anyway. I'm going to focus on getting these mine things, because otherwise I'm going to fly through there. Usually it appears they seem to be in my path, so if I don't shoot them, it's bad news. Oh, I've got away with that, I think. Lots of clicking. Loving the soundtrack, although it does feel a bit like a sort of 1970s cop show to me. No, but I jest. It is actually a really nice soundtrack, and it's quite funky. Is that the right word? I don't know whether that's necessarily the right word. Whoa! Let's get this thing here. Oh, well, that was annoying. It didn't even need to happen. I could have just avoided that. Okay, I'm down to about a third health, which was not a particularly good start. I'm assuming I'm flying into here. I just need to be really careful now, because otherwise I'm going to get murderized. Oh, he says immediately, getting shot. How far have I got to go around here? Hopefully not too far, because I could do with it being kind of end the level moment. Or maybe it is. Shooting things here? No, I don't think so. Get a feeling this might be a boss. What do you reckon? Yeah, there we go. I should shoot this. Yeah, I'm not docking with it, put it that way. Shoot these things here, because I think that's a good idea. Shooting things at me. Or, oh no, it's that that's shooting things at me. Alright, okay. I think both things are true. Both things are happening right now. Sort of an airship thing going on there. Whee! I'm just going to absolutely spam the fire button here. I don't know what I'm doing here. What's going on? Oh, they're sort of firing at me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, not sure what's going on. What's happening? I'm just going to keep shooting this thing and hope to not... Okay, it's moving me. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want to get shot up. My health is so low. I'm going to be dead any minute now. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad, 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 bad. Yeah. Sorry for the randomness. I'm just very conscious of the fact that my health is absolutely negligible and I'm still only about halfway through getting this thing. Okay, this seems like a good position to stay. Oh, he's moved. Okay, okay. Alright, I'm going underneath now. I'm not actually doing the moving here, but I am sort of having to change the viewpoint a little bit as I move around. So I'm using those shoulder buttons to move myself around. Now I'm right in the path of it, so that's a bit of a problem. Okay, well, he's doing alright now, might he? Oh no, what are these things? I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. Here we go, try and fly away from that. What is that? What is that? What is that? Oh. Oh no. Game over. Right, where does the continue take me back to? I bet it takes me all the way back to the start, episode 1. It does! Oh no! What a disaster! Alright, okay, well let's just dive in. Let's play for a little bit longer. I'm probably not going to play for too much longer now, because you're going to have to just watch me do the same things all over again. And then we'll talk about what I think of it. It's quite hard. I'll tell you that much for nothing. It's quite hard. Obviously, I've not really played it before. So it's kind of hard to avoid stuff. I think because it's on rails, maybe there's a little bit more manoeuvring that I need to do. I'm sort of relying more on the sort of the aim point just to do aiming really, rather than kind of dodging things. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing. Am I missing some buttons? Maybe. There's be people screaming at me in the comments, going, "No, you need to do this. That's how you avoid it. That's why you're not getting very far. That's why you're rubbish." Okay, so far so good. Yeah, that's gone well. Better. Okay, so it's gone better so far. That guy's going to be behind me in a minute, isn't he? Then I'm going to be in trouble. Try and avoid those and stop flying into them would be a good idea, because I keep doing that, going avoid it, try and shoot it, and then inevitably fly into it, which isn't really a good idea. Oh, he flew into the pillars there. Right, okay. ruins collapsing here. Alright. This is going better so far. I know one of these is going to shoot me, but I don't really know how to avoid that. Ah, like that. That's how you do it. Well, you see it a couple of times through, look, you know. I'm seeing getting the hang of this now. Let's see. Right, we'll get some of that. No! Oh, I did it again. I did it again. Like, it's almost a case of if you can't shoot them, just avoid them. Because it really is going to just mess you up. To use the term politely. Okay, we're getting towards the end of this bit now, because this is where we have the these sort of plant things, which we need to just stay out of the way of, actually. We'll go up here. We're in a much better... Oh, I spoke too soon. We're in a much better place now than we were when we got here the first time, because I'm actually... nearly got caught out by that. In slightly better shape now. We know we've got to fly into here. Slightly disoriented because I can't actually couldn't actually steer it properly there. I still managed to get hit there every single time. There must be something that I'm either something behind me or something that I'm not avoiding. Alright, so now the roof's going to collapse. So we'll skip through now to where the boss is. Do a bit more of that. Okay, so I'm just rattling through this again. Welcome back. I'm just back to kind of where we were in some vain attempt to try and do this. I'm not sure that I'm going to, because my health is still quite low. It's not as low as it was before, but I'm not quite sure how to avoid those sort of rocket things that we had earlier. And whether there's anything I can do about that, I guess we'll find out in a minute. Yeah, that moves again. Oh, I see. Is that them underneath? Making good use of the... I can't really tell what's happening. I think ultimately the game is moving me around, and then I'm needing to adjust my viewpoint with the trigger buttons just to kind of get the viewpoint back on. See these things now, look. Ah, that's what I've got to do. I just need to shoot them, basically. There we go, so that's... Alright, one more of these, I think. Yes, there we go. Okay, that's better. Now do I just basically just spam the fire button now until this thing gets wrecked? There we go. Going at it. Doing okay now. I don't think it's got anything left to fire at me now, is it? Almost got it. Yay! We did it! Okay, what next? Am I still shooting? No, I don't think I need to shoot anymore. Do I need to go to that? No, I think it's... Right, okay, the game's taken back over now. So hopefully that's the end of the first stage. It is. Episode 1 completed. What do we do? 76, that's not bad. 76%, we missed 19 enemies. I don't think that was too bad. That's not too bad. I don't know how many enemies there were, actually. 76% hit rate, so I guess maybe somewhere in the region of 80 odd enemies to shoot. Right, okay, so let's have a quick go of stage 2. I'm not going to go all the way through it, probably because I'm going to die. Well, I don't know if it restores my health or not. I assume it must do. And then, well, let's see how far we get, shall we? I have seen a bit of this stage, and then we'll probably wrap up. Episode 2. Okay, so now we're flying across the desert. I've seen bits of this, and this is where I think I got that kind of, this feels like June. These things here. Yeah, these sort of sandworm things that are flying out here. It's very June-esque, isn't it? It's quite harsh, that. Bits of his skin shot off. It's going to be sore. So good. It's got this rear angle here. I'm just keeping an eye on that radar there for that reason. I don't know what that was. I think that was like another dragon almost. Oh, let's not fly into the wall. Oh, hang on. Oh, maybe... Oh, okay, we flew into a cave. I was flying into a wall. That was the game that took me in there. Okay, oh, hello. Why have we stopped? Something's behind me? Oh, right, okay, we're just getting rid of all this lot. Alright, so should we get rid of all this lot first and then we crack on? So, making good... Oh, right, okay, they just sort of fly into you and kind of... Okay, this isn't good. Ah, right, okay, I think I've got the hang of this now. Alright, we're moving again now. Yeah, those trigger buttons are super useful because you can obviously turn around using your D-pad, which is sort of controlling your direction and your aim. But it's quite slow and it doesn't always necessarily move you where you want it to. So the ability to use the trigger buttons to turn yourself around much quicker is incredibly useful, especially in these sort of circumstances where you've got lots of things that are kind of attacking you all at once. Alright. Are we going back outside now? Where are we? Oh, hello. What's this? Right, mash, 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 mash. Oh, it's a shame you don't get a... I don't think you get a score on this anyway, because it'd be quite good for a one life challenge. Well, you only get one life anyway. Oh, dear me. Not that I would be very good at it, it would appear. Oh, I'm absolutely rinsed here. What am I doing wrong? Oh, dear me. Okay, well, we're going to be getting close to wrap up. I mean, so far, I mean, I'll start talking about it in a moment, but yeah. Oh, how did I get away with that? It is really kind of cool. I really like it. It's hang on, everything's behind me. Where is it? There we go. Oh, that's not good. That's got to be bad. Right, they keeps doing that. I'm in trouble. I think next time, next shot. There we go. We're done. There you go. And it's game over. And I think that we'll probably leave it there. I think that is a good point to leave it. So let's hop over now. I'm going to put some footage on of the new game, and then I'll put some other bits of footage on just to talk over when we wrap up and talk about what's coming up next. I'll make it short. I've talked about it already. So let's get and talk about what I think of Panzer Dragoon. Okay, so that was Panzer Dragoon on the Sega Saturn. Now what we're going to do is have a quick look at the remake. This is the Nintendo Switch version of the remake. This is the promo trailer for it. I've not played this game yet, but boy do I want to. Having played Panzer Dragoon now on the Saturn and having a look at this clip here. As soon as I went and had a look at this clip, I knew immediately that I wanted to play it. How good does this look? It's come out a few years ago now, and obviously it's a Switch game as well. I believe it's also on the PlayStation 4, but I really want to go check this out. This looks incredible. So, you know, it looks true to form. It looks like it really embodies the original, but obviously with modern visuals and graphics, it just looks fantastic. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to go check this out. £22 at the point of recording. This is the Nintendo Switch promo that we're looking at here. So, yeah, maybe that's one to go check out. If I'm going to play Panzer Dragoon anymore, I feel like this might be the version I want to play. But let's talk about the 1995 version of Panzer Dragoon, the original one on the Sega Saturn, and what I thought of it. Well, I think it probably lives up to its name. Obviously, I didn't play it for very long, so it's never going to be a, you know, full... played for many hours, here's the details. But from what I did play, from what I've seen, the research that I've done, the gameplay footage that I've watched from other people playing the game, and then obviously playing it myself, I was incredibly impressed, bearing in mind when this game came out, and bearing in mind that this was on a console that was largely designed, the hardware was really designed to push 2D more than 3D. I think this game demonstrates what the Sega Saturn was capable of, and just with how much you could push it with the right amount of imagination and the right ideas. I love the idea of this game. I don't think we've really seen anything else quite like this. I mean, we had Lair on the PS3, which was somewhat of a disappointment as a launch title. I think this is fantastic. I love the setting of it. I love that sort of anime vibe that it brings. I like the sort of Dune vibe that it brings, as I mentioned before. The mechanics of it are really good. The controls make a lot of sense. A couple of little niggles around the controls, you know, where you got to kind of spin round. You know, I guess it comes with practice, but it is a little bit fiddly to kind of spin round and a bit disorientating to shoot things that are behind you. But you do need to make good use of that radar in the top right hand corner of the screen. I get the impression that once you've sort of played this through a few times, that you obviously are going to get better and a bit sharper at it. So yeah, that is essentially it. I think it's great, and I would certainly give it a high score. I'd want to play it a little bit more. Like I said, I'm quite keen to play the Switch version. I'm going to give it, and I haven't used my scoring system for a little while. I am going to give it a solid 4 out of 5 parrots, but I think it probably would deserve 5 if I played it for a little bit longer. So it's perhaps a little bit of a harsh score, really, because I've only got 5 parrots. I can maybe 4.5, because I can definitely see the potential of this. The control system makes loads and loads of sense. So yeah, that is it. That is my sort of look back at Panzer Dragoon. I really, really enjoyed it. I think you should go check it out as well. And I think probably my guess would be that the best way to get into this is to play the new remake version on the Switch or on the PlayStation 4, which actually look, like I said, I've said it about 5 times now, look absolutely amazing. So there you go. That is it. That is it for this week's Bit Between. Coming up in the channel, I'm going to be looking at Sonic on the Saturn this week. And unfortunately, this is a bit of a sad tale. So I'm going to be reflecting on what happened with Sonic, because we didn't really get a decent Sonic game on the Saturn. We very nearly did, and there were semblances of something that might be great coming, and it never really happened. So it was a bit of a disappointment. So I want to talk about what went wrong, and ultimately the fate of Sonic on the Saturn and the Saturn itself are very closely intertwined. So I think it's an important story to tell, so I'm going to talk about that. We'll be looking at some of the arcade races, so we're going to be looking at Sega Rally, and we will also be having a look at Daytona as well when I get a chance. We've also got a PlayStation 1 Racer Challenge that I've got to get recorded and done soon in the next week or two, so keep an eye open for that. That's the Retro Red Steve monthly PS1 challenge. And yes, I think that's it. One thing I did just want to say, for those of you who are watching this who happen to have watched my Intellivision video last week, I did just want to make a quick point of clarity. So when I was reviewing the Intellivision Sprint, I noticed, or it appeared to me, that the inserts from the old cartridges wouldn't fit in the new controllers. I don't know why I couldn't get them to work, but it looked like they didn't fit, so I surmised that they perhaps didn't fit, and that was just a fact of life. And that led to a little bit of criticism of the Intellivision Sprint, because it meant that if you wanted to use your original games side-loaded and then put the inserts in, you wouldn't be able to do that. That is, of course, not the case. So I'm just going to make that point of clarity and just let you know that if you do have the original games on the Intellivision, you can use the inserts on the new controllers on the Intellivision Sprint. So I've put a note on the description as well. That was incorrect. But obviously, if you're watching this and you're still considering the Intellivision Sprint and that was maybe putting you off, please disregard that statement. So that is it. I think that's all I wanted to say on this game. So really, I'll just leave it there. Thanks ever so much for watching. If you do enjoy these videos, please do hit that like and subscribe button. Really do appreciate your support on that one, and drop your comments and thoughts on this game down below as well. Just leaves me to say, please do all take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.